This is more of a question for Josh than the colors of the comic feel really, really like film, like more noir, more washed out than the previous Records comic, like more like descent into madness sort of thing. Before it was super bright and now it's like super dull and super, it feels like we're in a different world and a different take on it. And I wanted, kind of for both of you guys, with like, was it discussed? How was that discussed, sort of thing?
Yeah, like we said earlier, totally on purpose. Yeah. No, it actually is very intentional. When we came into the book, I didn't want to just do what we did in Last Stand of the Records, even though Last Stand was fine and a lot of people liked the story, a lot of people liked the art. And I remember hearing, when issue 1 hit or when the preview hit for Sins of the Records, that they weren't sure about it because it didn't look kind of like Last Stand. It didn't kind of feel like Last Stand. But that's because it wasn't Last Stand. This is Sins of the Records. It's a very different story, and I very much wanted to just kind of handle it differently as far as the colors go, and a completely different style. It was a totally new style that I was kind of working on. Every new project that I do, I kind of like to try out different style. One book looks like this, and so just to kind of change things up, make things not as monotonous as possible, I just kind of try some new stuff. And so I was very much trying to go for like a very limited color palette, being very, as much as I can, as much to my ability. I'm not saying that I'm super awesome or super great or do it all perfectly. I just didn't want to say it, though. Be very deliberate with the color choices, so it was very, very deliberate, like with the green with Springer, and like having everything be very gray and, on Earth and stuff like that, and having the noise maze be very just out there with oranges and teals and pinks and just crazy colors. And so it was definitely very intentional to be different. And I like that you said kind of a noir thing. It wasn't, I don't know if I kind of went into it saying, I'm going to do a noir type of thing, whatever, but it was very much, noir is kind of about mood, and so that was very much what I was, I guess subconsciously kind of going after, and consciously going after, is to be very mindful of what the story was about, thematically, and what we're trying to say about these characters and their relationships and stuff.
It felt a lot like watching a black and white film sort of thing,
very
instead
cool.
of reading a colored comic,
Yeah.
which was really neat for a colored comic.
Yeah, and I very, very much went for trying to add some like a film grain kind of quality kind of a thing with some textures.
Yeah, the blacks aren't black, and they're that's slightly pushed back, Yeah. I mean, when are we just going to admit that your monitor was broken for the whole thing?
I wasn't going to.
No, that's fine. We'll leave that to ourselves.
You just outed me.
No,
it was.
But it's like Josh is like you're just ridiculously versatile. Like, because I change my style like every time, and anytime I'm working, usually I'm working with you. Yeah. So it's sort of like, what are we gonna do this time?
Right.
So it's, and like obviously the Last Stand looks different than More Than Meets the Eye, and geez, I can't go on about enough how much of More Than Meets the Eye I thought you were, you were the reason why that comic was as partially because of the look and the colors and the color choices in More Than Meets the Eye as well. But it's like it's so cool to work with a colorist who's sort of like not rolling his eyes because like, Nick's changed his style. It seems to me, you get across the sort of like, you're like, okay, let's try something new again, and it's cool. But you're right, I mean, like Last Stand, it's not Last Stand of the Records, it's a completely different. Last Stand of the Records is like an action movie, it feels like, and this is more like, I don't know, a funeral, I don't know. It's a funeral with exploding heads and stuff, so it's a weird one that that it ended up as it was. But Josh is just ridiculously good. I'm so lucky.
Thank you, yeah.